Alright, greetings and salutations. My name is Comic Fire, and welcome to a brand new LP of mine. It's for a game that has a very short amount of time before you can actually make a choice. So let's just hit start real quick. As you can read, it says Crystalis. It doesn't seem like much time for them to, like, get around. Though I don't know, with the funny demonetization bug going around, who's to say that things couldn't go to complete shit in just 100 years? Here it's going to complete shit in just a couple months. I wonder who it could be. Fortunately, the machines are here. That doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. Here's where you choose your name. However, I'm going to show you something real fun. If you just hit continue from the button, because you switch between start and continue by pressing select, and then clicking on these by pressing start. So if you just hit continue, you immediately start out, but you don't have a name, and you never get it back for the rest of the game. There's no opportunity to just get your name back. So, I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of just being, like, some unknowable nobody. So, to keep up with that, I'm just going to name my character Null to sort of keep up with the whole, like, blank space. Here I am. And we don't just get dropped out like last time. Boy, creepy stuff, huh? Can't interact with it again, so that's upsetting. Somebody once... Friend, where am I? Pretty sure you start back here if you, like, save and reset. I'm not quite sure, I never did that. I played this on the Switch, and I used save states to save my game. Cool, so welcome to the first town of a land that we have no idea where we are. To talk to people, you just walk into them. If you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk. Anyway, we're in the town of my pet cat, so... Oh, this place sounds heavenly already. And this isn't like Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. Interacting with Wells does nothing for you. That means little to me. I don't know who any of these people are. But maybe this is Zebu. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this with you. If you play the Game Boy Color port of this, it actually says, like, received Sword of Wind in, like, a really bit-crushed voice. Don't play the GBC version. It sucks. Well, it's different, and that means it's bad. Good to know. Maybe we can fix that. You swing your sword by pressing the B button, but you can't do it in towns because you would kill the townsfolk. Well, damn, I wish I could get $100 for waking up in the middle of nowhere. Oh, alright. Keep him in mind for later. I'm pretty sure he pops up again. Cool, so the way, excuse me, ma'am. The way shopping here works is kind of weird. You walk in here and it's like, hey, do you want to buy? And then you can buy tanned hide or some armor. But I don't know. The controls in this game take a second or two to get used to. Alright, so the way these work is it's two completely different sets of defense. And I'm pretty sure shields only affect projectiles. I might be wrong about that. If you're watching this solely for info in the game, this is not the LP to watch. I don't know a whole lot about it. This is totally just a passion project because I'm bored in the middle of the nights nowadays. So we're gonna buy some tanned hide because it's real easy to die in this game. And if I die, Mama's gonna tan my hide. So you press the select and you can equip the Tanned Hide. I also need to equip the Sword of Wind. Now there's something else we're going to need to buy as well, but we don't have the money for that, so it's time to do the old RPG standby of getting it ourselves. Rib. Keep that one in mind for later, because that's going to be weirdly important. I love this tune so much. In fact, I'm just going to let it play for a bit. Yeah, pretty good stuff, right? I love it. Anyway, combat's pretty simple. Mash the B button. Though you do have to be kinda careful because it's real easy to get hit and then have the damage stack up pretty quick. If you hold down the B button when you're sitting completely still, you can charge up, and then you can fire energy. It's equivalent, or at least the Wind Sword's first level is at least equivalent to one Sword Slash. It's slower, but much safer to just pelt enemies from a distance with it. Otherwise, you run the risk of getting hurt. And it's very easy to get stacked out in this game. Even at the max level, like... I'm not gonna lie, there were plenty of times where I abused the Switch's rewind feature. Fortunately, with the Tanned Hide, rather, we're not taking that much damage from attacks. Anyway, we have to go up here to progress with the plot, but if we go up there, the person we need to talk to isn't there. This game's a little cryptic with its event triggers. Maybe not like Star Tropics where you have to talk to literally everyone, but if something doesn't work on the first go-round, chances are you miss something in the immediate area. There's only a couple times in the game where you're gonna have to do like some real heavy backtracking. And when it happens, it comes out of nowhere and it's not fun. Fortunately, it's not like this game is too big, so it's not like you're gonna be too hard-pressed. There are some, like, cases of NES logic, but not too many. Zabu! Cool. Now a character we need to talk to will actually be there. But we can't do anything with it yet, because we need an item, and it costs a little over twice as much cash as we currently have. So we're gonna do, like I said, the old NES standby of grinding. Money is kind of in short supply in this game. There's going to be many an opportunity where you'll want more money than you'll have. And unless you're just sitting around grinding for a good portion of the game, which you don't need to for the most of the time, so I don't, you're gonna be short on cash and probably having to go a bit, skipping some equips, which can put you in a really precarious situation, but I don't know. It all depends on how much effort you want to put into grinding. Now, every enemy around here, being the slimes and the little tiger friends, give only 1 experience point, but the tiger dudes give 2 gold instead of, or $2 rather. It's an RPG, it's gotta be gold. They give $2 instead of 1. The slimes just give you 1, tigers give you 2. That works in real life too. If you kill a tiger, you get 2 whole dollars and 1 experience point. Which is not worth it, so stop killing tigers. So sword slashes are a lot faster way to, kill, to slaughter, to rend, to devour your enemies. Warriors of Purgatory. But, like I said, a little more dangerous. I'm not going to show off all the grinding I do in this game, but every enemy around here I am going to go out of my way to defeat, because it's always nice. You get levels, you get money, and both are, in not very short supply, but you'll definitely want them. Alright, we leveled up. And what do we get for leveling up? We get a little more defense, some more HP, and when it becomes, pertinent, we get MP. But we don't need that for now. You could grind up to level 3 right here. I don't think it's necessary. I think it would just take too long. We have the cash for the item we need, so I'm not gonna stress. Unless you want the cash for a medical herb, or an antidote herb, because if you get poisoned and don't have it at this point in the game, you're fucked. But we only need the alarm flute to progress with the game, so that's all we're gonna take on hand. I'm pretty sure the inns are, like, really expensive, too. 16. I don't know. I remember not using a ton of ins because they always kind of broke the bank, especially this early into the game. But yeah, every time you see an enemy, go out of your way to knock it out. You don't have to like sit there and level grind, but it's kind of like Chrono Trigger where if you see something, take it out, and if you do that every time, your progression won't be hampered too much, and your levels will be good for the things ahead. Unlike Chrono Trigger, strategy's not really going to get you much of the way through this game, so you're going to need a little more than that. And some parts of the game, you just straight up have to be the right level. Like, if you're not at the right level, the boss just is invincible. Which is lame, it's kind of a stupid way to handle it. Anyway, we put on the alarm flute, and we use it by pressing B. And now it's gone, but... now we have the windmill key, which is what we use to progress and get away with this. Or get away from this area. If you don't talk to Zebu in the cave, from what I understand, he won't be there. So, talk to Zebu. Similar case here. Take one windmill key. And now the windmill works. I believe there are 2 cases in the game where you need to use the windmill key to advance, so... you could benefit from buying one right now, but money's a little tight right now, and by the time you'll need it, $50 is not all that much to give up. So I wouldn't go for the alarm flute right now. If you have the extra cash or want to do the extra grinding, go for it. By the way, now the wind ball, now that we've leveled up, we also hit harder. We can take out the tigers with one wind ball. So I'm actually curious to see if I can take it out with a single sword slash, because that'd be the real interesting thing. Because at that point, then yeah, just having a sword slash is, or the wind ball, is infinitely more useful than... no. So the wind ball's a little stronger. But you can stack up the damage with like the pokes faster, so risk versus reward. Alright, I'm gonna take a little bit of time so I can get a, I want a medical herb, because we're already a little hurt, and I think it'll be, nice to have. I'm also pretty sure that we get one in the next dungeon coming up, but... I say the next dungeon like we've been in one. The first dungeon coming up. But we're also gonna get something neat and handy real quick that'll make it not all that important. I feel like I just said a bunch of shit and none of it meant anything. I could heal at the inn, but I have the medical herb, and if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna get a healing spell right up here, so... you know. Die. This is not where we need to go. And always pick up the cash. By the way, if you never spend much of anything in the game, you'll end up with about 40,000 gold. Whoa! And now we have the magic of Refresh, which is, see, we have MP. I don't know why I said when it was pertinent. Use Refresh. You hold down the A button, or you can just press it for a little bit, but you hold it down and it keeps draining your MP and keeps restoring your, HP. It's neat. Now these guys are a little hard to, like, track, because you can't really... it's not as obvious, like with the tiger men, what direction they're facing, so you gotta be careful, lest you'll, get poked. And if you get poked, you'll, be upset. Now, I don't think these guys can poison you, but I know they have a cousin in here that can. Plus, it's a little, like, you gotta be kind of, like, right next to them to be able to... or right on the Y-axis. Or is it the X-axis? I don't know, I kind of forgot math. I haven't taken a math class since, like, 2014. Neither of my, the majors that I was taking required it, so... Whatever the horizontal axis is, or vertical, when you want to hit an enemy, you pretty much have to be, like, directly, like, aligned with them or it won't hit. You see, this wall's kind of, discolored. But didn't someone mention that we could get a ball that could destroy it? Wah! That guy can poison you. Watch out. Fortunately, these guys are kind of like the ropes from Legend of Zelda, where they'll just keep going after you, which makes them real easy targets when you want to pepper them with, wind balls. Ah! Nice. And now we have the Warp Boots, which, from what I remember, are kind of like the Zoom spell in Dragon Quest. They'll take you back to a town. I'm not sure if it's the last town you visited, like a Teleport or early Dragon Quest games, but right now we only have one town, so it'll take us back to Leaf. And now we're level 3! And look at how much MP we got for that, it's great! So wise man once said, if you see a fork in the road, take it. I'd say free medical herb. So I suppose we could have healed, but... ah, we didn't need it. If you can do this and keep them out of the range of, like, keep them just off the screen, they won't do that thing where they throw their head at you. If I'm not mistaken, these guys don't even give experience. No, they give 1. They're not worth it. Watch out for them. And now we have the Ball of Wind. Ain't that something? So now we can get a level 2 shot. Level 2 shot's a little wider, so it's easier to hit with. And most importantly, it can break down those barriers. I don't think it's... I'm not gonna say it's not any stronger, but it's not much stronger. So just for general spamming, I'd recommend just spamming a level 1 shot over anything else. What? That didn't work! Yeah, you have to get, like, right up on it. It's not really convenient. And now we have an antidote, which is nice, because we'll probably need it if I'm not careful here. I am trying to play a little more carefully. After all, it's an LP, I gotta be good, I gotta be cool, I gotta be epic. Yeah, it's a little tricky to actually see them, so watch out. I'm not sure if I was just... yeah, it's right here. But more experience. By the way, the level cap in this game is 16. It's not quite as easy to get there. The experience caps build up pretty quick. But you'll pretty much always hit 16 by the end. I don't know if you have to, like, I don't know if the final bosses are, like, immune if you're not level 16. It'd be lame if they were, but I couldn't tell you. I was level 16 by the end. Actually, I was, like, level 16 by, like, the... damn it. I was level 16 by, like, the midway point. Cool. Yeah, be real careful with those guys. Don't get impatient. But yeah, I was level 16. You hit level 16 pretty early. There's a really good grinding spot that I'm going to show off, and that I'm going to take advantage of immediately. It doesn't, like, break the game in two to be level 16 that early. But it's... actually, I think I'm gonna go back. I think there might be more treasure. And what's the worst that happens? I get a little more gold. I don't know if these guys can poison you. It would make sense, they're snakes. Which is a silly thing to say, because more snakes are not poisonous than are poisonous, but if you see a snake in a piece of media, it's always poisonous. Might as well. Actually, I think that's the first time I've ever used an antidote herb. Usually when I was... because I first played this on the Switch's Virtual Console, so if anything like that happened, I would just rewind. Which Which is gonna make some of the bosses really interesting, because I'm also used to just fixing my mistakes immediately with rewinds if I mess up. But with the way I have my PS4 controllers set up as well, I can also just, you know, save a state, load a state. Boss coming up, so get your shots ready. Ah, a vampire! Actually, I'm kinda getting my ass kicked. These bats are awful. Sweet! We managed to beat it without dying. I was actually kinda getting concerned there. And we get the rabbit boots. Which worked because our MP is too low to use anyway. And you have to turn off refresh to use the rabbit boots, and they let you jump! Which is really fun. I also think it might be faster than just walking. Which is neat. Whenever I go onto a new screen, I like to charge up a little wind ball, just to be safe. Now, if you want to go exploring, you can, but there's a town right here to keep you safe. Keep that in mind. Yeah, real noisy with all two of you here. Alright, so let's go to the inn, because we are smacked. $20! Well, we got 132 of them. Why not? What do you have to say? Boy, you have a nice beard. It's a grand maze where plants will shoot poison. I wish they wouldn't. Huh. I'd say it's upsetting, but that would be racist to say. Well, later, bro. I will never see him again. Keep that in mind for later. A lot of people are talking about Saber, so it's probably gonna be important. You can't actually get drunk, so don't worry about it. Yeah, the pawn shop is where you can sell your items. Could sell your tanned hide. You can't sell, like, the ball of wind or anything. Can't sell refresh. Can't sell, like, key items you can't sell. I'm gonna chuck the warp boots because I don't really intend to use them. Never have. Because if I wanted to get back, I would just walk back. Though I understand if I was in grave danger, it would probably be a better idea not to do that, but fuck it. Bronze shield sure is expensive, or we can get the leather armor and upgrade that, which is what I'm gonna do. But before we go any further, I'm going to... We'll equip the leather armor, and we'll sell off the tanned... well, no. Yeah, you have to press select again to get out of here, and I'm used to just, you know, slamming the B button. It's something to get used to. Now, the enemies around here are going to hit a lot harder, so pay attention. Medical herbs, things they get more expensive the further into the game you get. It's fun. No, it's not, actually. Cool, so now feels like as good a time as any to call it a first episode. We've made it pretty far in one go. Cool, so, tell you what, see you guys next time, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care.